Here's a truth most men don't fully understand until it's too late. Women never forget how a man makes them feel. Not what you said, not how expensive the date was, not even how attractive you were. What sticks with her, what she carries with her long after you're gone, is the emotional imprint you left behind. And here's the twist. Most guys are so focused on trying to impress women that they completely miss what actually leaves a lasting mark. They chase perfection, money, status, or looks, while the guy she can't forget is the one who understood how her psychology really works. He knew what to say, how to behave, and how to connect in a way that sticks in her mind and her body. That's the guy who becomes unforgettable, not just a passing memory. So, in this video, we're diving into 5 key things a man can do that a woman will never forget. These things go deeper than surface-level tactics. They connect with how women are wired emotionally. They tap into female psychology in a way that triggers respect, desire, and even obsession. And no, it's not about being a bad boy or acting like you don't care. It's about knowing how to leave a powerful emotional impression without forcing it. A lot of guys try too hard. The ones who get remembered, they play a smarter game. They create moments, feelings, and dynamics that linger long after the interaction ends. If you've ever had a woman ghost you, lose interest, or just not feel it after what you thought was a great connection, chances are you didn't trigger the right emotional imprint. Welcome to the channel. If you're here to understand how women really think and how to become the kind of man they remember for life, you're in the right place. Let's break it down. Now, here are the 7 powerful angles we're going to cover in this video. 1. Leave her better than you found her. One of the most unforgettable things a man can do is leave a woman better than he found her. That doesn't mean fixing her life. It doesn't mean being her therapist, her savior, or her cheerleader. It means showing up with such solid, grounded masculine energy that she feels more inspired, more feminine, and more connected to herself after being around you. Most guys focus on what they can get from a woman: attention, sex, affection, validation. The men she never forgets are the ones who gave her something internal. Not a gift or a compliment, but an experience that elevated her. It's about presence. When you listen to her, really listen, not to respond, not to impress, but to understand. She feels that. Most men don't give her that level of attention. She notices, and it sticks. It's also about your energy. When you're confident without needing anything from her, it creates safety. She can let her guard down. She can breathe. She can be in her feminine. That shift alone will mark you in her memory, even if you never touch her. Here's a situation that drives this home. Imagine a guy meets a woman who's used to men trying to impress her. They brag, they flatter, they push for intimacy. But this guy, he's different. He's calm. He asks thoughtful questions, challenges her in a respectful way, and doesn't rush anything. He ends the night by saying, "You've got an amazing mind. You don't meet that energy every day." And he walks away. No pressure, no chasing, just real, grounded presence. She might not even realize it at the moment, but days later, she's still thinking about him. See, it's not always the dramatic gestures or romantic moments that stick. It's how you made her feel about herself. Did she feel more valued, more feminine, more like herself? That's the test. Women are constantly around men who want to take something. You stand out by giving something she didn't even know she needed: clarity, calm, respect, honesty. These things hit different. They touch the part of her that wants to be felt more than impressed. And here's the part most men miss. When you leave her better than you found her, you win either way. Even if the relationship doesn't go anywhere, you've left a mark. And if it does go somewhere, she's already anchored that feeling of growth and safety to you. So, stop worrying about what you can say to impress her or what moves you can make. Focus on how she feels after being around you. Be the kind of man that upgrades her, not because you're trying to, but because that's just who you are. 2. Make her feel deeply seen. Most men talk to women, but very few actually see them. That's the difference between a forgettable guy and the one who lingers in her mind. When a man makes a woman feel deeply seen, not just for her looks, not just for her personality, but for her essence, he triggers something powerful in her psychology. It's rare, it's magnetic, and it's unforgettable. Let's be real, women are used to being admired for surface-level things. Compliments about her looks, her body, her style, that's standard. She hears it every day. It doesn't move her anymore, it's background noise. But when a man notices something deeper, like the way she lights up when she talks about something she loves, or how she holds back when she's nervous, she feels that. Because most men never go there. Making a woman feel seen is about awareness. It's paying attention not just to what she says, but how she says it. It's noticing what excites her, what she avoids, what she's passionate about, and what she's insecure about, without her having to spell it out. When you mirror that understanding back to her in subtle, grounded ways, it lands deeply. Here's what this doesn't mean. It doesn't mean digging for her secrets or playing therapist. It's not about intense interrogation. It's about being present enough to pick up on the real her beneath the surface conversation. That's what makes her feel connected. That's what makes her open up. You want her to feel like she doesn't have to perform with you, like she doesn't have to keep her date face on. That's where emotional intimacy is born. And when you create that space, she will remember you. Even if things don't move forward, she'll remember that moment when she didn't feel the need to be anything but herself. And here's something that sets you apart even more. See her, but don't pedestal her. Most men either ignore the deeper parts of a woman, or when they do notice it, they overdo it. They gush. They idolize. That's not attractive, it's overbearing. The man she remembers is the one who sees her fully and accepts her as she is, with calm masculine energy that doesn't flinch. So, if you want to become unforgettable, stop trying to impress her. Start paying attention. Listen deeper. Observe more. When you make her feel like you understand her in a way that others don't, you'll leave an emotional imprint that lasts. 3. Lead without controlling. There's a fine line between leading and controlling, and most men either don't lead at all, or they try to lead by force. Neither of those gets remembered in a good way. The man a woman never forgets is the one who knew how to lead with calm confidence, without ever making her feel controlled, cornered, or unheard. Let's start with this. Women want to be led. Not dominated, not dictated to, but led. It taps directly into their feminine energy. When a man knows how to take charge in a way that feels steady and secure, it creates a feeling of safety and excitement at the same time. That's the sweet spot. The problem is, most guys don't understand the difference. Controlling behavior is rigid. It's insecure. It demands submission. That might get short-term compliance, but it creates long-term resentment, and she'll run from it eventually. A man who tries to control everything is often afraid of losing control himself. That energy leaks out, and she feels it. Leading, on the other hand, is flexible. It comes from a place of strength. It looks like making a clear plan, but still being open to her input. Setting a tone of direction and certainty without forcing agreement. Saying, "Let's do this," instead of, "What do you want to do?" over and over. Handling situations calmly instead of reacting emotionally. Women don't remember the guy who said, "I don't care, we can do whatever." That's passive, that's forgettable. But they do remember the man who naturally takes the reins, who makes decisions with intention, who moves with purpose, who has opinions without being pushy. Leadership also shows up in emotional tone. When things get tense, do you stay grounded or do you escalate with her? A man who can hold the frame when she's emotional without trying to control or fix her makes her feel something most men never give her: emotional security. She may test you, push a bit, or act unpredictable. It's not to ruin things, it's to see if you can handle the storm. If you can, she'll trust you on a deeper level. Now here's what trips a lot of guys up. They confuse being laid back with being passive. They think being chill means letting her lead everything. But the truth is, when a woman is forced to lead all the time, she burns out. She might stay, but she won't feel that attraction anymore. She won't remember you as the man who made her feel feminine. She'll remember you as the guy she had to carry emotionally. So, lead with direction but don't suffocate. Invite her energy but don't lean on it. Take charge without making her feel small. That's how you create a dynamic she won't forget. 4. Trigger her respect, not just attraction. Most guys chase attraction. They want the spark, the chemistry, the signs that she's into them. And while attraction is important, here's the truth a lot of men overlook. If she's attracted but doesn't respect you, it's over before it even starts. You might get attention, maybe even physical intimacy, but she won't stay. She won't open up. And you'll never really hold her mind or heart. Women don't forget the men they respect. And that goes way deeper than looks, money, or charm. Respect is tied to how you carry yourself, how you respond under pressure, and how consistently you show up as a grounded, solid man. So what actually triggers a woman's respect? First, boundaries. If you have no boundaries, she won't trust your strength. If you let things slide that clearly cross the line just because you're afraid to lose her, she loses respect, even if she doesn't say it. A woman remembers the man who held his standard, even if it cost him something. Second, accountability. Can you own your words? Can you admit when you're wrong without crumbling or defending? That's rare. Most people deflect. The man who takes responsibility calmly stands out. He's mature, he's real, and that leaves a mark. Third, purpose. Are you building something in your life that matters to you? You don't have to be rich or famous, but if you're aimless, she'll feel it. A man with a sense of direction earns respect without needing to prove anything. Women feel it when you're centered. They feel it when you're drifting too. Fourth, emotional control. This doesn't mean being cold. It means being grounded. When something goes wrong, maybe she's moody, maybe plans change, do you panic, lash out, or start explaining yourself too much? Or do you stay composed and lead through it? She won't forget a man who makes her feel steady when life is shaky. And finally, consistency. Women don't respect men who flip-flop. If you say one thing and do another, or if your energy constantly shifts depending on her mood, she sees it. She doesn't always tell you, but it affects how she views you. A man who shows up with the same energy, who follows through, who doesn't disappear when things get uncomfortable, that's the man who stays on her mind. Here's what it comes down to. Attraction might bring her in, but respect makes her stay. And if you never earn her respect, she'll forget you the moment something more stable shows up. 5. Create emotional contrast. If you want to be unforgettable to a woman, you can't be predictable. That doesn't mean you should play games or create drama, but it does mean you need to create emotional contrast. Why? Because humans don't remember neutral. They remember highs and lows, shifts in feeling, and moments that surprise them emotionally. Women in particular are wired to respond to emotional variety. It's part of how they bond, how they process experiences, and how they build memory. So if every interaction with you feels the same tone, same compliments, same routine, she won't have much to hold on to. You'll blend into the background. But if you make her laugh, challenge her thinking, slow things down and get serious for a moment, then bring back the fun. Now you're giving her a roller coaster she wants to ride. She feels alive around you. And that's what keeps her thinking about you when you're not there. Let's walk through a situation that shows this in action. You're on a date. Instead of jumping right into small talk, you tease her a little, playfully push back on something she says. She laughs. Then, a few minutes later, you shift gears. You ask a deeper question, not heavy, just real. Her energy changes. Now she's opening up. Then you pull her back into the moment with a confident smirk and a light-hearted story. She's smiling again, but thinking. You've created 3 emotional layers in one interaction, and she feels it. Here's the key. You're not forcing anything. You're just being dynamic. And that's rare. Most guys either stay in one gear, funny but shallow, serious but dry, polite but boring. Emotional contrast keeps her engaged. It creates depth. It makes the time with you feel like more. Women crave emotional experiences. They want to feel different sides of you. Playful, grounded, focused, calm, teasing, assertive. When you bring that range, She feels like she's getting to know a complete man, not a one-dimensional character trying to impress her. This doesn't mean you need to be a performer, it just means you need to stop filtering yourself so much. If you're feeling playful, go with it. If something deep comes up, don't shy away. If the moment calls for a pause or silence, hold it. Those shifts create emotional moments, and moments are what she remembers. So, ask yourself, do your interactions feel alive or flat? Are you giving her something to feel or just something to hear? When you create emotional contrast with confidence and ease, you become more than just a man she liked. You become the experience she remembers. 6. Handle conflict without losing frame. Let's be honest, conflict is where most men fall apart. It's easy to be confident when everything's going smoothly, but when tension hits, when she's upset, pulling away, or testing your boundaries, that's where your true strength or weakness shows up. And here's the truth. How you handle conflict is one of the fastest ways a woman decides if you're a man she can respect or a man she'll forget. A lot of guys go into fix-it mode. She's emotional, he panics. He starts explaining, apologizing, or trying to smooth things over just to get back to peace. That doesn't make her feel safe. It makes her feel like she's leading the emotional dynamic. And that kills attraction. Others go to the opposite extreme. They get defensive. They shut down. They raise their voice or try to dominate the situation. That doesn't create trust either. It creates fear or resentment. Either way, she learns you can't hold the frame when things get tough. So what does holding frame actually look like? It means staying grounded when emotions rise. It means listening without instantly reacting. You hear her out without folding or flaring up. You stay calm, direct, and clear. You don't beg for her to calm down. You bring calm into the room yourself. Here's something powerful to remember. When you stay calm during conflict, you become the emotional anchor. That's rare, that's masculine, and that's unforgettable. Women are emotional creatures. They feel a lot, and when a man can meet that energy with steadiness, not coldness, she feels safe to relax, even in the middle of a disagreement. Handling conflict like a man also means you don't avoid the hard conversations. You don't go silent or ghost just because things get uncomfortable. Instead, you face it head-on with honesty, not heat. You say what needs to be said, clearly and directly, without trying to win. Because the goal isn't victory, it's clarity and connection. And don't mistake this for being passive. Holding frame doesn't mean letting her walk all over you. It means calmly reinforcing your boundaries when needed, without raising your voice or losing emotional control. That mix of strength and composure, that's rare. That's what earns lasting respect. Here's what most men never learn. Conflict is not the end, it's the test. It's the moment she subconsciously asks, can this man handle me at my worst? If the answer is yes, she won't forget you. Ever. So don't be afraid of tension. Don't run from arguments. Use those moments to demonstrate who you really are by staying centered, clear, and firm. 7. Walk away like a man who knows his worth. Here's something most men don't want to hear, but they need to. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away. Not in anger, not as a manipulation tactic, but with calm clarity, because you know your value and you refuse to stay where you're not respected, valued, or prioritized. Women never forget a man who walks away the right way. A lot of men stay too long. They overinvest. They tolerate bad behavior. They make excuses for disrespect. Why? Because they're afraid to lose her. But that fear makes them weak in her eyes. The moment you're willing to lose yourself just to keep her, she loses interest. On the other side, some men walk away emotionally, shut down, ghost, or play games because they don't know how to handle their feelings. That's not power. That's emotional avoidance. But when a man walks away with self-respect and control, that leaves a mark. It sounds like this. This connection isn't aligned with where I'm going. I wish you well. I don't feel respected in this dynamic, so I'm going to step back. You're great, but this isn't what I'm looking for. No drama, no guilt, no begging for closure, just firm, respectful truth. Women remember this because it's rare. Most men either hold on too long or lash out emotionally. The man who calmly exits a situation that no longer serves him, he stands out. He's in control. He values himself over the need for attention or sex or comfort, and she will feel that shift even if she doesn't say it. And here's something deeper. Walking away isn't just about her, it's about you. It's about protecting your energy. It's about staying true to your standards. When you know who you are and what you deserve, you won't waste time trying to convince someone to choose you. This is where self-worth becomes felt, not just talked about. When you can let go of a woman who doesn't meet your standard, not because she's bad, but because she's not aligned, you free yourself to attract someone who truly is. And that kind of masculine self-respect is extremely attractive. Even if she doesn't admit it, she will respect you more after you walk away with class than if you stayed and begged for crumbs. So here's the challenge. If you're in a situation that drains you, disrespects you, or keeps you stuck, don't just talk about being high value. Live it, pull back, walk away. And don't look back unless there's real, consistent change. That doesn't make you cold. It makes you powerful. It shows her and yourself that you don't settle. Here's the reality, gentlemen. A woman may forget your face, your words, even your name. But she will never forget how you made her feel. And when you learn to master these principles, when you leave her better than you found her, when you lead with calm confidence, when you show emotional depth, hold your frame and walk away with dignity, you become the kind of man she carries with her long after you're gone. Not every connection lasts. That's life. But every man has the power to become unforgettable, not by being flashy or perfect, but by standing firm in his masculine energy. And the truth is, most men won't do this. They'll stay stuck in validation-seeking mode, afraid to upset her, afraid to lead, afraid to walk away. They'll blend into the crowd. You don't have to. You can be the man who makes her stop and think, the one she brings up in random conversations, the one she can't quite get out of her system, not because of what you gave her, but because of who you were. So let me ask you, are you leaving a lasting impact or just passing through? Drop a comment below and let me know what hit you the hardest in this video. Have you made any of these moves before? Are there moments you wish you handled differently? I read every comment and I respond too, because this channel is about building better men, not just getting views. Appreciate you being here. Let's keep building. Stay sharp, stay solid. She'll remember.